everyone, and welcome back to another Tech Talk session with me. I am your host, Tripti Sinha from Tech Jobs Fair, and today we are joined by very energetic Miss Anika Harloff. So, today we are going to dive into a very exciting topic that will definitely be a game changer for you. But before we begin, let me give a brief info about Anika. She has been over 20 years of management experience within multinational corporations in Europe and Asia. As a globally recognized and certified career coach, she empowers since 2015 people in transition and enables them to outreach their goals. And that's a little from my end, but hello, Anika. How are you doing today?
Hi, great to see you again. I'm very
Absolutely.
good, yes.
Thank you so much for joining us. We are super thrilled to have you here with us, and I'm pretty sure that you have some exciting tips that you can share with our audience today.
Oh, yes, I always bring some interesting insights from my everyday life and from my over 20 years of experience. So if you have questions, please feel free to ask. Also,
Yeah,
I'm sure you have prepared some questions, and I'm sure, Tripti, you also have a dream job which you are either
absolutely.
pursuing or you want to get. So let's get the topic on.
Yes, absolutely. Can't wait for it. And guys, like she mentioned, if you have any questions right now, like, popping up in your head, or as we go along with the session, if any question comes in your mind, feel free to comment down your questions, and I'm pretty sure Anika will answer them all. But meanwhile, I will be your voice, and I have few questions that I have to ask her for all of you, like on behalf of all of you, right? But begin before we begin the session, Anika, let's take some time for you to tell us about your journey so far in the industry, and maybe you can share a little bit about your experience with us.
Oh, sure, yes. So I study international business administration in Germany. And I was always interested in visiting different countries and living and working in different countries. So my journey took me to France, Spain, Sweden, but then also to Serbia, Russia, Ukraine. I was first a project manager, trainee, and later on responsible for logistics, marketing, and sales. And once established the Eastern European market, I further went to the Asian market. I was living 8 years in Singapore, and from there, I was managing the Southeast Asian market. So, starting from Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia, Vietnam, always setting up markets, establishing customer relationships, setting up new teams. And that's where I was recruiting, of course, and that's where my insights come, which I can bring to you as an international career coach. So I have seen many do's and don'ts, and I'm ready to share that with you. But I also understand the culture of those countries, and I understand your fears and the do's and don'ts as a German and living now again in Berlin, running an international career coaching. I can help you with the German culture, how to land your dream job in Germany when you are coming from a different culture, because there are differences in perceiving time, for example, or in detail orientation, in perceiving what is important or what is not important at all. And for that, it is important to have somebody to team up with who has more experience and to share that experience, what you're having.
Absolutely. And because you have so much knowledge about this international market, I'm pretty sure your insight's going to be, broad, and it's going to be globally enriched.
Yes, it
Yeah.
is. It is. And as you mentioned before, I'm an international career coach since 2015. So you can imagine if I'm doing that for almost 10 years from 9 to 5, how many clients, students, friends I have helped to reach the dream job already, and how many stories I have to tell. And I can tell you, you are not alone in the process, because I have seen it all. I like usually when people are joining from international background, they say, oh, but my situation is very complicated. And I used to think my situation is very complicated. But then if one is only focusing on international folks, you will realize that actually I'm used to the most complicated. So I like to say, okay, bring it on. Give me the challenge and let's see if I have heard it before.
You probably have solutions for all complications.
And
Because
the interesting thing is, it's not me who needs to give you the solution. Actually, you have the solution inside you. But alone you go in circle, with friend you go in eights. And when you work with a career coach, I have the methodology to go in a spring feather and to make you jump out of your problem, and then you can pursue your goal.
That's interesting. That's interesting. So, to begin with, is it realistic to go for your dream job in a foreign country? Because let's talk international first. So, is it realistic?
Definitely yes. So why not? Is it easy? Definitely not. So go for your dream, yes. Define your dream, and then think about what you need to do to pursue your goal or your dream. If one is only dreaming, that is not enough. So there is a lot you have to do, and I would really recommend to get some help also with a career coach, because we have some valuable insights to support you.
Right. So, when it comes to looking forward to maybe establishing a role or looking forward to attaining the dream role, are there any steps or procedures that we need to think of? Or I think a lot of people face difficulty in even describing their dream role because they don't really know what they want to do. So, is there a way to kind of figure out like what would be a dream role
So
to
yes,
begin with?
so I so one thing is, I say don't only dream, but I use a tool which is visualization. So I like to create a vision board with you. If you're a visionary person, then Tripti, let's think, where do you see yourself, not tomorrow, not next year, but in 10 years from now? Because in 10 years from now, you can learn any language. In 10 years from now, you can move anywhere. Tomorrow, maybe it is not possible because of family, because of other circumstances. But within 10 years, everything is possible. And that makes you dream big. And that then gets it interesting for us. And then we can say, what is your current situation? What is your current knowledge? What are your current strengths you're having? And where do you see yourself in 10 years from now? And then there is a gap. Definitely, there will be a gap between now and 10 years from now. And the question what we will work on is, how big is the gap? What is in the gap? And what can you do to fill the gap? And if you want to go to Germany, sorry for asking, do you speak German?
No.
So if you want to go to Germany, it's essential to speak German. In 10 years, you can learn German. So you can either learn it with an app, you can learn it with a teacher, you can travel to Germany, and so on. In 10 years, it is possible to learn the language if that would be a skill you're missing currently. If I had a guy who wanted to become a CEO, is it possible? Yes, definitely. So tell me, what do you know currently? Tell me what the CEO is, the skills the CEO must to have. Tell me what is missing. Maybe it's a leadership course. Maybe it is a project management training. Maybe it is a network and so on. So let's discuss what is missing and create an action plan how to fill the gap. So that is the vision board which we are creating in combination with an action plan, because again, just to dream is not enough, visualize better, but get things going. And you will be motivated to do the steps because you by yourself are defining the goal. It's not me who is saying you must go to Germany. And then you will be motivated to learn the language because you say, oh, it would be better if I know the language, or if I want to be the CEO, I should take those courses. Yes, they cost that much of money. Maybe I need to work a side job or so on. Maybe I need to go for networking to get to know contacts who can help me to get my future dream job. The other thing which I found very interesting, which you said, people might not know what they want or what their dream job is, or they cannot define it.
Yeah.
But people know mostly what they don't want. So it's super easy. Oh, I want a lot of money. So you need to be specific. I want to earn a lot of money. What is a lot of money? You know, what is a lot of money in India is very little money in Germany because the cost of living is much higher. So, what is a lot of money for the conditions you want to live in also? And then, so be specific. Then, what you don't want. I don't want a boss who micromanages me. Okay. So what do you want? I need freedom in decision making. I need to have work-life balance. So maybe it's easier to firstly, I note down what you don't want, but then don't manifest what you don't want because it will come to you. Write on the other side of the paper what you want. So if I don't want micromanagement, I want freedom of decision making. If I don't want to work over hours, I want a 9 to 5 job. So I can specify that. If I want to live in Berlin or if I want to live in Munich, if I don't know what is Munich or Berlin, I want a big city or a smaller city. I want to work remote. I want to work in person. By now I should know, do I need to have people around me or not? How do I function the best? I can work in shifts, or I'm definitely not a night person, so I cannot work in shifts, and so on. So ask yourself, what is it I want? What is it I don't want? And also listen to your friends, to your family. Like, what are people around you having and what are they describing you? You can ask them, describe me your best situation in job and describe me your worst situation.
Yeah.
If you have asked 10 people, then you have already at least 10 points of what you want or you don't want. Not saying that you should have that worst situation from somebody else. Might be my best situation, because it depends on what are my values and what are my expectations.
Yes, absolutely. I think that's a very interesting point that you mentioned of jotting down things like what we want and what we don't want, because that's going to make it pretty simple for people to understand their needs and, what they don't want exactly. And like you mentioned, it's always good to have like a long term duration when you're planning for a dream role, right? Because anything to do tomorrow is not possible, but of course for 10 years it is possible. Now, if taken a situation and let's say, a person has found out his or her dream job, right? And they are pursuing it, but I mean, like, it could be my personal opinion, but do you think that a dream job can be temporary? Because maybe there's a dream job that I think right now is my dream job, but I tried my best to achieve that, and once I achieve it, maybe I'm thinking, no, this is not my dream job. after 10 years my dream job changes. What to do then?
What to do? You dream again. So of course, a dream job doesn't stay forever. So if you have reached it, probably you will need 1 year to fulfill it and another year to live it.
Yeah.
And then you are slowly growing out of it. Like,
Mhm.
and then you start dreaming again, or you think, yes, this management style is good or was good for me as a junior, but now that I am more senior, I want to have more freedom. I would like to be a mentor myself. I would like to try something else. If maybe in the beginning you're fine with a local employment, but later on you need an international one. Maybe your private situation will change also. Maybe you were okay to work over hours in the beginning to learn because learning and development was your main interest. Then now that you have knowledge and you have family you want to take care of, work-life balance is more important to
Yeah.
you. So you need to have flexible working hours, and you need to have some colleagues and superior who have understanding for that. So
Right.
it is very normal that your conditions change, that
Yeah.
your dream job change, that your expectations on your job are changing. And then it is also very normal to look again for the next step. The next step can be in a different company. The next step can
Mhm.
be in the same company in a different team. It can be the next step in the career, but it doesn't need to be. Not everybody is born to be a manager or wants to become a manager. You can also be for 10 years the senior specialist and bring added value to the team if that is what you like doing. So I don't think that there is the perfect career, but there is the perfect career for you, and you have to build it.
Absolutely. Now, I would like to take your thoughts on, let's say, can someone stay in like one job forever, or is change must or not?
Yeah, a little bit I said already. So somebody can stay in a job forever if that is the job you like and you feel comfortable in, and it's the team you feel comfortable in, and you like to contribute in that one job from the beginning to the end. Why not? Would I recommend to do that? No. You know why? Because changing companies or institutions will give you salary raise. So being the expert who you are, and yes, I understand that you like to be in the same team, and I understand that we are very comfortable sometimes in a specific situation. And
Yeah.
I'm sure that your employer and your boss will love you to stay in the same position forever, but they will give you very little salary increases and very slow in slowly better title, and they can only provide you that until a certain level, and then
Mhm.
you are stuck in the company. But the funny thing is, if you're doing the same or even lesser, but you bring your knowledge to another company, they would like to pay you 15 to 30% higher salary just for switching the job. Yes, you will get out of your comfort zone. You will have to go and get to know a new team, a new company. You're also risking that this is not the right place for you. So that's why I would recommend you to have your clear list of what is important to you,
Yeah.
and what are they offering to you and what is it you are expecting. And that then you ask very critical for the new upcoming job. and your future manager. How do you work? What is expected from me, and so on. And of course, it is important if you are more balanced person and not so salary driven, then it might be better for you to stay in the comfort zone and you say, I am fine where I am. But then you need to be aware that those people who are switching companies every 2 to 3 years, they every time have 15% of salary increase, and that with the years gives a huge increase in your salary.
Right. And how important do you think it is to have a dream job? Because, uh, they might just be wanting jobs, and because they just wanna, because it's competitive market right now, and they just want to get through it, and they're like, I don't care if I get my dream job or not. I want a job, right? Because most of the people are, let's say, fighting for the same dream job. I think they have similar taste and similar choices. So I think it's going to get pretty difficult to get through the queue of this competitive market. So how important it is to have a dream job, and can everybody get this dream job?
Yes, yes. So, how important is it to have your dream job or look for your dream job? Um, First of all, not everybody is having the same dream job. What is your dream job is not my dream job, is not my friend's or my sister's dream job. So we all have different skills. We have different preferences. We have different values, and we have different experience, and we have a different dreams and expectations. According to that, I am sure if we are going to ask 10 people in one room, what is your dream job? We are all going to describe a different job. So, having said that, there is not the competition on one job only, but there is several jobs which are equally spread among all of us what we are looking for. Then, should you look for other jobs than your dream job? Definitely not. You know why? Because you will only be passionate about applying and doing the job if it is your dream job. If it is just any job you're doing, you will just do it average or even worse than average. You will not get promoted. You will not get the recognition. You will maybe not even get invited for the interview because you are just doing it average, but you are competing for that amount with too many people whose dream job that is, and they will put everything on so that they are getting their dream
Yeah,
job. So
that's,
there you will definitely lose.
and
So
that's
rather put it all in on your dream job and compete with 20 people than to say, I can do anything, just give me a lot of money, just let me get to Germany. It's not going to work like that. So usually I say, if you work with me as an international career coach, we are only going for the dream job. And then the question is, how do we know that we have reached the goal? And I know that we have reached the goal when your eyes start sparkling, when they are shining, and you tell to me, okay, I have nailed the interview. They want me to be in their team, and this and that has happened for the last days. Also, the time span, if it is a match, they will not have you wait for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. They will not ghost you. All this, they will be into you the same like you are into them. And there will be that momentum that they ask you to provide these documents. They ask you to go for interview. They ask you for chemistry call to see, do you fit in the team? And all that is an indication that you are pursuing now your dream job, which is not your final, because we said already there is
Yeah.
always development, but
Right.
for the time being, that will be done the job which you will pursue until a new dream comes up.
Yeah, that's true. That's basically very true. So, I just have like a small hypothetical situation for you out here, and let's say, wait, how do I put it? So imagine we got the, like, we know our dream job. Okay, we've jotted down, followed the steps, we've jotted down what we don't want and what we want, and we finally figured out our dream job. Now, because it's better to work hard and get the dream job rather than, just doing any job and then maybe looking forward to failure, than just work hard and get your dream job. But now let's take a moment to, that journey of applying for jobs, getting shortlisted, getting the interview. What if we get demotivated in the journey of getting our dream job? Where do we land then?
So yes, unfortunately, I see that very often
Yeah.
because when firstly people try by themselves, and I would encourage everybody to try by themselves first. But they only reach out to me if they are not succeeding by themselves, of course. So how does it happen? Usually you have wrong application papers. So a CV looks different in Germany than in India, than in Vietnam, than in Singapore, than in UK, than in the USA. So
True.
you need to be aware to which country am I applying. A CV also looks different in healthcare than to the industry, than to the institute, academic institute. So we need to know what are the standards in my industry, in my country where I am applying, to have the proper application documents. Then a CV is standard, but Germany, for example, a cover letter is extremely important, because if you don't have a cover letter, you have only half the chance of keying in all the keywords. Because if the CV gives me 50% and the cover letter gives me 50%, then I have only the chance of 100% if I have both. If I'm missing the cover letter, I'm only at 50%. So how am I going to reach 70% to be invited for the interview? But if I don't know that Germany, the cover letter is still so essential, then how am I going to change it? Or do I need a picture or not on the CV? That is also a question, and that can be answered by the different countries. So
Yeah.
that is another question. Then it's very important to keep the momentum going. My statistics is apply for 25 jobs in 1 month and you will get ghosted. So don't be motivated. You will be ghosted by 60%. And everybody is going to get ghosted by 60%. Remember, almost 10 years of experience. And I know it is not fair, but this is not the moment to discuss this. This is happening to everybody. So I know you put in a lot of efforts to have proper application documents, but the companies are also receiving a mountain of applications. Not all can handle it. I know it is not appropriate, but you will get ghosted by 60%. 20% will reject you. And I like the rejections. You know why? Because at least with the rejections, I'm not ghosted and somebody's telling me you're not right. So at least then I know that, okay, this is out of the game. And then
Yeah.
I have 20% of invites, and I love them, of course. I love to be invited for an interview. But on the other side, I hate it also because now I need to prepare. I need to prepare for the interview.
Totally feel it.
Yes, a privilege, right, to be invited, and now I have to work some more. So then I need to prepare myself to tell my story for the interviewee. What is it they expect from me? What is it I can contribute with my experience? and what are challenges I was facing. Also, don't be afraid to tell them what were challenges you were facing, but
Yeah.
also how did you overcome them? Because that means there has been problems in your life, but you grew on them. You are a reflective person, and you are contributing with that now to the business. If you never have had any problems, either you're lying to me or you're going to come back to me when you have a real big problem. And sorry, that is not my task. I want you to work independently and to manage your tasks. So that about the statistics, that about how to prepare for an interview. Also, prepare some questions for the interview. So
Yeah.
never come in without any question. If you come in without any question, you're not interested in the job. So if I am asking you, do you have any questions? You say, no, it's okay. No, it's not okay if you have no question. So at least if really either you're having a blackout or you really don't have a question, then say, look, we discussed already everything that would be my question. Come up with something you were discussing. So my question would have been how the organization is, and you explained to me already how the organization is. My question would have been, how is your management style? And you explained already how you're going to work with me. My question would have been, what is the salary? But it's already indicated. So I am well informed by you already, and that's why I don't have any questions. Sounds much better than if you say, oh, no questions. Let's just hang up here and let me go and continue with my video games because I prefer to play with my friends than to have this interview and start working with you.
That's funny, but like that happens in most of the cases. I think it's
Yes.
sometimes you just go numb when the interviewee asks them, "What do you have any questions?" They do have a lot of questions in their head, but it doesn't come out in the form of words.
Yes, I am sure. And that's why I say, please prepare already six
Yeah,
questions
like
because,
preparation.
and it's totally okay to have a piece of paper here with you and to have them written down. It's also totally okay to have a window open in your laptop and to have them written down and
Mhm.
to then just, okay, yes, I'll have questions. Wait a minute, let me check because this interview was very intense. I am prepared, and then I am just checking through. That is a very good way of working during the interview and not forgetting it, or even say, look, I'm currently having a blackout. My questions would have been, and then you go through, or you say, I'm sorry, I'm currently having a blackout, but can I come back to you later with my questions? And everybody will say, yes, sure. So, but that means you have been thinking about it and you are interested, and yeah, then it's much more appreciated and much more valued.
Yeah, absolutely. And therefore, we just learned one lesson that's, our career coaches are not the last hope, guys. Don't go to them when you're demotivated and not getting the job. Go to them the first step, and you'll definitely get a job.
Yes, because it is also this application process is so demotivating sometimes. It's so
Yeah.
intransparent, really. And it's much nicer to team up with somebody. And
Mhm.
it's nice to team up with somebody who's not competing with you and who is the expert. So, yes, usually in school, I would say team up with somebody, but it could be you want to be a UX designer in Germany and you are applying for UX designer positions in Germany. Your friend also applies for UX designer positions in Germany. Let's apply together. Okay, that's good for setting deadlines, 25 applications per month and so on. But the two of you are newbies. So the two of you are going to be ghosted 60%. The two of you are going to be demotivated and you're even going to demotivate each other more.
I couldn't.
So like, yeah, the job market sucks. Yeah, for me also, I don't find jobs. No, I also, then the moment you find a job, you hide it from the other. You're not even speaking it out because you think that is the dream job for both of you, which we elaborated earlier. It is definitely not. So then you're playing seek or hike and it's getting a psycho game. Then it's even better to play alone. So that's why I would always recommend take a career coach to reflect with and to explain first, like, this is my strength, these are my values, this is what I'm looking for. And then to say, can you just have a look, have a look at my CV? Is it good that way? Is it working for this or that position? Then that is the first step. And I will say, yes, that's fine. Or, look, I would recommend to change this. Maybe you use a different template, or it is fine. Let's try it with this one. If we are not succeeding after 1 month, we need to make some adaptation. So that I, as an expert, I can give you some advice. Where are you right and where you're wrong? And you're not sidetracking totally, but it's just slightly that we are changing on the track, and we are finding our way. And I can give you, from my vast experience and insights, I can give you advices, and that is really helpful. So CV, then LinkedIn profile also, embed your application in a social media strategy, so that you can even be invited for interviews, and that is super sexy. If you have a good LinkedIn profile and the expert are asking you, or the hiring manager is asking you to join the team, is asking you to come for an interview. Wow, that is so nice. And that is part of my strategy, that we are sending out the right waves, we are working with the right hashtags to actually magnetically chase or get the right vibes, the right contacts, the right companies who want us to be in their team. So that is very, very nice. And then the last step is actually with the interview. It's so nice to work with somebody who has been running a lot of interviews and who knows what is expected. It is good to practice it. Maybe you will feel funny if you are doing it with your friend or with your mother or with somebody, and then why all of a sudden I should talk English to you, or because this is why all by the sudden I need to behave so formal. So let's do it in the kitchen while I'm eating my soup. But if you try it with a coach, you will prepare, and I will see your background, and I will see your posture, and I will comment about your wording and so on, and I will know what are they looking for, and I will ask you some questions, and then you have to answer, and by that you will learn your flexibility, your spontaneously answering to those questions. And it's a difference if somebody knows the questions which will be asked, or somebody is just asking a question which is not the right way of wording, or which is not coming in that sequence. So you will be better prepared. Also interculturally, you will be better prepared. So I was preparing just this morning somebody for the interview, and he started, they want me for this. I don't know that, but I have experience in. Sorry, this is not a good answer. You don't tell them that you don't know what they want to hire you for. Then why should they hire you? So please say yes. I have done this. I'll think about where you have done. Yes, I can help you with this, even though you don't have a knowledge of it. Still, I can help you with this. because I have a knowledge in, and I'm sure you have experts in your company who can teach me this. Because people are usually not only inviting you for your hard skills, but they are inviting you for your values, for your soft skills. So I can teach you a system, I can teach you a market, I can teach you a product, but I cannot teach you again the enthusiasm to discover a product, a market, to work in a team or not. If you are supposed to work in a team, but you hate working in a team, and you told me you hate working in, so yeah, sorry. Most likely you're not going to join us.
Yeah, honest truth or the bitter truth.
And that is also working with me. I give you an honest feedback so that you're going to navigate right in the market. So then it's on you to think about, do I still want it? If that is the reality, am I strong enough or am I good enough for the market? Or do I rather change now my position? Or is it too hard for me and I rather stay in my comfort zone? Maybe Germany is not the right market. Maybe it's a different country. Maybe it's a different job. Maybe it's a different team. Maybe it's a different boss, a different management style. There's plenty of options.
Yeah, absolutely. I guess we are now approaching to the end of the session. We do have some time limitations, but however, I just have one last question for you, and this is a personal one. So, over your journey so far, did you have multiple dream jobs yourself?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I am always pursuing my dream job. So from the project manager, where I realized that I want to manage directly and not indirectly because it is much harder, but it's a good position to start and to get to know a lot of knowledge, to the marketing, sales, and logistics person, where I understood all the processes and was given the empowerment to start working in sales and marketing. What was my dream job at that time? So I always, from one to another, I then from sales in Eastern Europe, I changed to a different market, to Asian market. So sometimes it's the position, sometimes it's the responsibility, sometimes it's the market. Then I have always had, when I studied, it was my dream to lecture at the university, and I'm doing that now. So I am always pursuing my dream job. Then I was all the time when I was managing my team, I was in a way already coaching them, and also my clients, I was training them in sales and so on. So that's when my dream job became to become a coach and to run my own business. So I have created a vision in 2017, which was run workshops at the beach. And I have done that in January 2023. And they invited me again last weekend to run a workshop at the beach. So I am really always going for my dream jobs, and there have been multiple and also different dream jobs, as you can see. So it is not only the one dream job, but it always pops up. And I can tell you also something which is a little bit extraordinary, and I was shy to share before, so I will share with you. I once was sitting in a circus, and I was dreaming to be part of a circus. So to work in a circus. And in a way, traveling like I did in my career was in a way like a circus already, like a digital nomad. So you can say this is part of it. But I'm currently supporting Artist Collective, and I'm part of a circus team there. So it can be, yeah, it is. So
Interesting.
Yes, and it can be very wide, and it's not because you are the sales director that you cannot be a part or some worker in the circus. I'm also volunteering. You know, where I'm also trying out about my dream jobs and about my competences if I have them. I'm trying out in volunteering. So
Oh,
in volunteering, I'm contributing to the team in a different way. If currently I'm mainly a leader, then I like in my free time to contribute to the team differently. So one of my challenges was to cook for 25 people during a workshop. So I once didn't want to run any workshop myself, but to cook for the whole team. And that got a lot of appreciation. That was a lot of sweat and work for me. But I was super happy when I managed, and everybody liked the food, and nobody went home with food poison. And it was just amazing. It was just also living my dream at the time and at the moment.
yeah, that's amazing. That's amazing. Well, now, like I mentioned, we do have some time limitations, which is why we have to bring the session to an end. But, however, is there anything that you would like to add from your end to our viewers, and any final tips or any guidance?
So, like, it is very hard to give general advice. I gave already multiple general advice now in this half an hour, and I cannot do an individual career coaching in 30 minutes. So really, everybody who has the need to reach out to me can contact me over LinkedIn, reach out to me, and can have the privilege of a free of charge chemistry call with me so that we can analyze what is their dream job and how are we going to pursue on the goal. And there is another possibility. I wrote my first book this year, based on my experience as a manager in international. So you can read, it's a workbook, so you can work yourself through each of the sessions, each of the steps of how to reach your dream job. And it is available on Amazon, and it's called Starter Pack, a quick guide to your dream job in Germany. So maybe we can share the link here also to the book, or we can share it under the LinkedIn story so that you
Yeah,
guys can
absolutely.
find it definitely in Amazon under my name. And it's how to reach your dream job in Germany.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Anika. And guys, you have two steps here. I'm like, not steps, you have two choices. You can reach out to Anika, get that free chemistry call, and get started with your, first step towards your dream job, or get a book on Amazon and get to know more about how you can get your dream job. So you have two choices. Choose wisely or choose both, right? And Anika, you can mention the link of your book on the LinkedIn event page, and they can get it from there absolutely after the session. And thank you so much again for joining us and sharing your knowledge and your insights about how can someone find their dream job, and how how to make it possible. So yeah, thank you so much. I'm super happy to have you here today, and to get the insights from you. So thank you so much once again.
Thank you for the invite, and it was a pleasure to discuss with you as always. And I really enjoy talking to you, the audience, to give my tips and insights and to empower the individual to reach their dream job.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. And guys, if you are looking for jobs, feel free to reach out to our website, techjobsfair.com, and check out our events in person, virtual events, and see whichever is near to you, you can go attend it, right? And grow your chances of getting jobs or networking. So, once again, thank you so much, all of you. Until next time, take care. Bye bye. Thanks, Anika.
Bye. Thank you very much.